high octane awake and brave here. Now, today I upped the amount of microdosing shrooms that I'm doing, and I had about 0.5 of a gram, where for about a month I've been taking like half of that. So I've only been having a quarter of a gram. Now I'm taking half, and I don't know, it could be the moon, or it could be that something's happening with my cognition, because I'm making video after video after video. Now, I just went in the gym, and there was some dude that I often have a bit of a chit chat to, and the chit chat is about nothing, and he will never instigate the conversation. He will never ask me anything. He will never bring anything to the table. The only way he can communicate is by asking questions very, very poorly, because he's never actually thought about any of the things I ask him. And so, anyway, initially, our relationship in the gym was about what are you training for, how long you've been training, and what's interesting, you do this exercise and that exercise, and this, that and the other. Now, he comes to the gym on his bike, and he comes to the gym like he's dressed to go to battle. He's got his thick tracksuit on, he's got it really done up here, he's got his hood on, he's got cycling glasses on, he's got his scarf up to here, he's got gloves on, and he's got fluorescent bicycle clips, and he's on an electric bike. And I'm like, fucking hell, are you fucking cycling around the world or what, dude? He goes, well, you don't know, do you? One of those, you don't know, do you? I'm like, how far do you fucking cycle? And he goes, oh, it's quite a way. Always very, very evasive. And I'm like, where do you live then? Oh, I live down by, there, around there. And, whenever he's saying these things, it's patently obvious that he doesn't want to divulge. He doesn't say the local town or the local village or anything like that. Oh, he's down by there, that sort of way. So from the get-go, he was a very evasive cunt. And so because of that, I thought, okay, he's evasive. Why is he evasive? Is he a paedophile? Is he a queer? What's going on with him? He strikes me as a sort of bloke. He's about 50 years old, and he's dead skinny, wiry and bold and very white, and most of the time he's doing high repetition exercises, free exercises. Very often, very, very seldom uses weights. So his arms are about that thick, and he's always chewing gum. And so I said to him, why are you always chewing gum? What's all that about? And he goes, as if it's like some shock that I fucking noticed, It looks like someone like him with all that fucking gear on, with his helmet and his big coat and everything like that. Oh my God. Fucking unbelievable. Yeah, I forgot to mention, he wears a fucking helmet as well. He pulls his hoodie up, and then he put on top there's a helmet. Fucking hell, But you don't know, do you? I'm like, yeah, you don't really know, but I'll take the fucking risk, If 1 in a million a meteorite falls on me, or a car screeches off the road and fucking hits me, I don't think knee pads and elbow pads. He wears that shit, people. Knee pads, elbow pads, like a fucking teenage skateboarder. He's got all that shit going on. And if you're going to get hit by a car, I don't think you're going to have much protection there, to be fair. And so, it's all in his silly mind, isn't it? The frailty and insecurity in his silly mind. And then his fluorescent bicycle clips. Fluorescent bicycle clips, like a child taking his cycle proficiency. Really? And I said to him, he's got the full fucking gear on today. He's even got fluorescent bicycle clips. He don't like that shit. He don't like me noticing things about him. So I noticed he's chewing gum, and he felt all insecure about that, and he couldn't offer me any rational explanation as to why he did that. I said, what is it like? You got, nervous energy. You just got to be doing something all the time. Saves you grinding your teeth or what? He's like, no. And I'm like, well, you do it every single time, Rob. There's something in it. No, I can't think of anything. And I'm like, well, that's because you don't fucking know yourself. Look, people, what I'm saying is, someone that makes sure they've got chewing gum every single time they come to the gym and is never without it. Literally, if I've seen him 100 times, he's always fucking chewing. And so there's something to that. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's nicotine gum. And he's a fucking incessant smoker, and he can't even do a couple of hours in the gym without having his fix. So, it could be that. Now, he was wearing a bandage, a plaster, 3 inches long by 2 inches wide on his arm. And I've said, what's that plaster on your arm? I've noticed it, for the past 3 weeks. And he went, that's just to protect the skin underneath. I went, of course it's to protect the skin. Why? Always that too impertinent. No. And eventually, with weeding it out of him, it turns out they had a skin graft. On another part of his body where he had to have something removed. So they took this fucking piece off his arm and stuck it on the piece where he had it removed. And he wears this bandage or plaster over it for the eventuality that he may knock it on something and start it to bleed, because it takes about 2 years to heal properly, And I'm like, well, what the fuck are you expecting to knock it on in the gym that's going to be so sharp and you're not going to be aware of it? It's not like you're working in a scrapyard, mate, or on a building site. You're just in the fucking gym with all these machines. What exactly are you going to be knocking it on? He said, whoa, you don't know, do you? I'm like, I know what sort of cunt I'm dealing with. You don't know, do you? Dressing up like he's going to fight a fucking battle just because he's cycling a couple of miles. You don't know, do you? Putting a big fuck off plaster on his arm in case he knocks that. So anyway, he comes in the fucking changing rooms the other day, and I noticed he had a big fucking scrape on the top of his bald head. And I went, you've been fighting with her indoors? Hit you over the head with a rolling pin, did she? Just fucking about. And any normal person would have said, oh, fucking hell, you won't believe it. I was under the fucking sink because it was blocked the other day, and then the missus shouted, what are you fucking on? Put me out of, they would have come out with an explanation. He never came out with an explanation. He was never ever going to come out with an explanation. What he did, he started to get introverted and insecure. And he's like, why did you notice? And I'm like, I fucking noticed everything, Rob. I'm the sort of person that notices things. And if there's a big fuck off scrape on the top of someone's bald head, and you see them a lot of the time, then you're going to notice it. Which is fucking bizarre to most people, because they don't even notice what colour fucking people's eyes are. I was going out with Mr. Nobody for about 5 fucking years. We're spending, many hours together, and he didn't even know what colour my fucking eyes were. One day in the van, I said to him, you don't notice stuff, do you? I said, what colour are my eyes? And I looked the other side out the fucking window, and he went, brown. And then he'd get insecure because I would point out that he didn't notice any fucking thing. If you don't even notice a friend's eye colour when you've been fucking spending thousands of hours with them over years, well, I don't know what's fucking going on. I don't know what's going on, people. So anyway, the next time I saw this idiot in the gym was about 2 days ago, and he was in the gym when I went in to get changed, and I didn't know he was there because all I saw was 3 pale white fucking bold blokes, and I never gave them a second glance. But it turns out one of them was him, and he walked past me really fast. He said, "Oh, Aaron," and he's almost running. He's making it plainly obvious that there's no way did he want to fucking stop and talk, because he's feeling very insecure now. And so anyway, I caught the bastard. And now I fucking cornered the little bastard in the gym today. And so he's on this machine, and I goes up, and I said, so that fucking cut on your head's lasting a long time. I just wanted to fucking rub it in a little bit more. He never mentioned it. He just said, oh, you're all right? And I said, yeah, you. And then he's doing his exercises. And he said, what you on? And I went, fucking high octane, mate. Fucking cosmic juice. And he said, bro, you on something? I'm like, well, why does anyone need to be on something just because they start talking, just because they've got some zest? Well, you don't know, do you? And that one again. And I said, you know, when the sky's blue, mate, and there's a little bit of fucking spring in the air, and there's energy in my body, and my mind is pure, well, I'm fucking on something. I'm on cosmic fucking juice. But as it happens, I am on something. I'm on magic juice. I'm on fucking psilocybin. And so, you know, because I'm kind of like engaged, you know, I'm engaged. Well, the people in the gym's kind of like, are you alright? Are you alright? You got more sets on that, or this, that and the other. And then it'll take them fucking years before they'll start to get into remotely a conversation about anything of any meaning, right? But I'm full on, and he knows that. And he knows I've wrote a book, and I'm psychoanalytical and all that sort of thing. But as soon as he started to be aware of my psychoanalytical prowess, he became retreated, he became withdrawn, and he became nervous. And so anyway, he kind of peaked today when he's looking at me as if all afraid, and he's got this fucking pale white face, and he's cleanly shaven with his fucking, you know, pale white head. Never been in the fucking sun in his life, by the look of things. And he's chewing his gum, and he's doing this exercise on the machine where you do your leg like this. The leg goes back. A girl's exercise, you know? And so he's doing that. And he says something about Christmas, like, oh, what are you doing for Christmas? And I'm like, I'm doing nothing out of the ordinary. I says, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you know, you can go around someone's house for a meal. And I go, well, you know, what? Family, or, oh, you know, just very vague again, not saying family, not saying parents, not saying wife or girlfriend, because they ain't fucking got one, because he's a gay pedo. And so I say, well, what do you like about that? And he's like, pulling all these faces. And I'm like, why are you pulling faces? And he's like, well, is it to say, what do you mean, what do I like about it? And I'm like, well, the reason why I asked that, Rob, is because, like, I want to know whether you're going there because you actually want to go there, or you're going there because you're drawn, because you're expected to go there through family and friends and this, that and the other, and it's like more of a convention than a fucking pleasurable activity. And I don't know how many families actually could stand being in the presence of each other for more than a fucking couple of hours, especially when the fucking sherry starts to go round. And we went, oh, where's that? So anyway, I said, well, what do you like about it then? And he went, oh, the food. And I went, well, what's so fucking great about the food? Who fucking likes turkey? Who likes dry-ass turkey? And Christmas fucking pudding? It's kind of like, you know, something everybody does at Christmas time, just probably to get it over with, you know, until next fucking year. It's about, like, you know, eating fucking malt. You know, when you was a kid, you used to have this fucking malt stuff that your parents would give you with all the vitamins in and that shit. Well, Christmas cake's a bit like that. You eat it and you grimace and you swallow that shit, and you crunch on the fucking nasty ass fucking crap in it, and you get it over with. And he went, well, you know, well, it's all stuff that, you know, I don't do. I mean, what do you mean you don't do? Well, you don't cook? He says, well, I don't cook anything like that. I'm like, what? Like what, a Christmas fucking dinner? It's just like a roast dinner. You don't cook anything like that? Oh, no, not really. I'm like, well, fucking hell. I said, look, Rob, the reason why I'm you know, asking these questions, because I'm curious, of course. And, you know, we want to know what makes people tick. I wouldn't be bothered to go around anyone's houses because I don't want to listen to their fucking drunk drivel after they've had a couple of beers and a couple of fucking sherries. Everyone's going to fucking fall out in any case, and they ain't going to be cooking anything that I can't fucking cook myself. So I said, well, would it be fair to establish then that because you don't cook, it's the highlight of your fucking year to go around somebody else's house that can cook all that fucking trimmings? And then, of course, he's like, not wanting to admit that that's the fucking case. I'm like, well, okay, look, that's fair enough then. It's a good enough reason to want to go round to supper your fucking in-laws if you're going to get fed like a fucking king once a year. And so, anyway, at that time, he's on this fucking machine, and he says to me like, it's all right, but not to be high. And I'm like, what do you mean? He says, well, be on something. And I said, I'm not on anything, Rob. Other than fucking fresh air and sunshine. And at that moment in time, he spits out his chewing gum. And I went, oh, look, drugs just came out your mouth, mate. And he went, oh, yeah, right, drugs. I went, look, there they are on the floor. And it was this fucking chewing gum. And so he had a face on about like that. And then I went over onto a machine, started doing some shoulder press. And he was doing that. And I thought, I'll keep on him. I can see he's suffering. And so he says, all these questions you're asking, what's the point? And I went, well, because I'm psychoanalytical and philosophical. And when I said psychoanalytical, I saw his face grimace like that, and that's what I knew it's all about. Because as soon as he discovered that I'm psychoanalytical, and I noticed the scrape on his head, and I noticed the plaster on his arm, and I noticed that he chews gum, and I noticed he's cycling here and there, and I'm like, where are you heading to? Blah blah blah. He doesn't want to tell me anything about himself, And so as soon as I said I'm psychoanalytical, that's why I asked these questions. Then I saw, his eyes look down to the left. And when you're looking down to the left, you're having bad thoughts. And his face screwed up like this. And I said, whoa. Okay, I said, what were your thoughts just then? He said, what, when? I said, when I said psychoanalytical and philosophical, which one of those words caused you to grimace? And he went, no. And he said, no, I was just thinking because you was, speaking about, what I like about the Christmas party and this, that and the other. I said, that was fucking a couple of minutes ago, Rob. 2 seconds ago, I said to you, I'm psychoanalytical and philosophical. And your face fucking grimaced. And he denied it. And then he was starting to get all fucking nervous. And he didn't want to continue the conversation, and he's putting more effort into his exercise and pretending he's concentrating. And then when he's finished, he leaves the machine without saying anything, like, oh, see you later, anything like that. So I know I'd got him. And I'm thinking, what is it with these people? How many people are terrified when you start to look inside to discover that they don't have a soul? He ain't got a soul, he's a fucking bone, he's a fucking drone. A drone, a fucking husk, automaton, muggle, one of these. And so he doesn't know any reason why he's doing any fucking thing. And I was saying to him, look, Christmas, it's a convention, isn't it? It's like it's an institution. It's been propagandised throughout the fucking years. How many people are actually Christians when it's a Christian festival? It's about Christ, the birth of Christ. How many people give a fuck or even believe in that shit? And yet they still do it. And he's like, well, probably not very many. And I'm like, well, exactly, but why do everybody fucking do it all the time? Yeah, well, it's the only time we get, to see family and friends all at the same time because we're all off work. And I'm like, exactly. So therefore, that reiterates what I'm saying about being a convention and being an institution and being propaganda and all this shit. You're being forced into it. How many of you are forced and obliged to buy each other presents that you don't fucking want? And then you'll sit round in a circle, you give him socks and he gives you a fucking cockworm or something like that. What the fuck's going on? Why do you do it? That's all I'm asking. Why can't you be individuals? And so I said, look, I don't give or receive any fucking presents. If I want to buy my daughter things, which I do many times throughout the year, then I'll buy it when I fucking want to buy it or whenever she needs anything. I don't need cunting Christmas fucking saga to tell me to give my daughter a fucking present. And I'll save giving her anything all through the fucking year to give her to fucking Christmas. No, I don't need that. And so when you start looking into why people do things like that, they get all fucking insecure. They get all terrified. They've never actually thought about these things themselves. And he kept rolling his eyes as if to say, oh, you know, oh, so everybody does, Aaron. You know, we all do this, and why are you fucking, you know, trying to tear it to pieces, or why are you asking all these questions? It's just what everybody does. You know, that's the mentality of the fucking drones. Like the drone I met on the way to the fucking gym, just looking in the phone. Then I met another cunting drone in the fucking gym. And, you know, before I come out of the apartment, just as I was leaving, there was another fucking drone, one of my neighbours, he's completely fucking soulless. Just a soulless fucking bot. And never got anything remotely interesting to say about any fucking thing. Just in his tiny little fucking flat world. That's where he lives. And, you know, look, I wouldn't be going on about this shit if I could find intelligent people. And if there were an amount of intelligent people watching my videos who kept me sufficiently busy with inspiring conversations. But as that doesn't happen, and I'm mingling around in my fucking small circle, bumping into all these fucking tards, well, I'm just begging for a meteorite or a fucking insectoid invasion. I seriously am, because there's one in a fucking million that's worth a fucking wank, worth fucking saving out of the dull as fuck, soulless fucking drones. That's all they are, fucking droning around. Here's another thing, right? I'm walking by this fence one day in the summer. This privet hedge, right? And there was an old geezer, he was about 70 years old, and he had one of these hedge trimmers, and he was attempting to trim that fucking hedge. But because of his stupid cunting fucking pea brain, he had the blade the wrong fucking way. Now, on this machine, there's two settings. You can have the blade facing this way, or you can have the blade facing that way. But he had it facing this way. So what he was doing, he was cutting the hedge with it like that, where it's going up and down. And you know these blades have got teeth like this, and they've got teeth that shift between each other, and then they cut it like scissors, right? He had it like that, and he was cutting off the ends of the fucking leaves. And I said to him, you've got the blade facing the wrong way. He went, what do you mean? So I took the machine off him, I changed the setting so the blade was facing like that. So then it went like that. And he went, I've had this 2 years, I didn't even know that. What was more shocking than that, people, is that he was 70 years old and he couldn't even work that fucker out. And so you people, you know, some of you idiots who've got a problem with me, all of you people that are decent thinking people, intelligent and awoken, you've not got a problem with anything I fucking say. You're dealing with the same fucktards as the rest of us. But it's the fucktards, of course, that have a problem with that. Oh, well, it's not their fault. Whose fucking fault is it then? That's what I want to know. Whose fucking fault is it? If it's not his. He's been on this planet for 70 fucking years, and if it's not his fucking fault, whose fucking fault is it? You could say, well, it's his parents, they're both fucking retards. Well, yeah, there is that. Or he's just a new soul and he doesn't know about any mechanical devices. Oh, yeah, I suppose there is that. So you may as well just fucking be cannon fodder and, you know, feed the fucking insectoids when they come, because he ain't worth fucking nothing to nobody. I wonder what these people have done all their lives. I wonder what jobs they had. How the fuck can anybody completely, without an ounce of practicality in their brain, what purpose could they serve anybody? You know, and he was cutting his hedge in his suit trousers and his suit shirt. So it seems to me that he'd never owned a fucking tracksuit or any work clothes or anything like that. And he worked in an office. And, you know, that was the fucking extent of this dude. And I'm like, oh my God, the fucking world. The fucking world. But just getting back to this fucking drone, this bald-headed muppet in the gym. So, he now feels very, very uncomfortable around me because of the things I notice about him. And because he's feeling uncomfortable, then I'm more inclined to notice more things. And the next thing I'm going to do is that when I see him, I'm going to go, oh, Rob, you've got a bit of fluff on your right elbow. And he's going to go like that, and he's going to try and look at it like that, but he ain't going to be able to see it. I'll go up to him, and I'll brush his arm like that, and I'll go, oh, it's gone now. Why do you think I'm going to be doing that? What I'm going to be doing now? Because he's going to be thinking, if he's noticed a piece of fucking fluff on my elbow, he's noticed every single thing about me. He can see into my mind. He's a mind reader, and that will terrify him beyond measure. And he will do everything within his power to keep running, but I won't let him run. I'll say to him, you can run, but you can't fucking hide. And I'll be on at him, terrorizing him. Yes. Oh my goodness. So anyway, all facetiousness aside, and all, let's say, exhibiting parody, enlarging things and stating that it's my sole intention now to get inside his head and terrorise him. I don't give a fuck, he'll be running so fucking fast I won't even be able to catch up with the cunt anyway next time I see him. But anyway, now our so-called little bit of a relationship is over now. And why is it over? Because I started to ask questions. If I was happy just to fucking mumbo jumbo talk about the fucking weather and any other number of bullshit and just go, hi, how you doing? You alright? Yeah, this and the other, then we could have gone on like that for 1,000 years. But because I said, so what's that scrape on your head? Why you got that plaster on your arm? Why you always chewing gum? Because I said things like that. Terrified now. And so that's what you find with many people. And that's why the vast majority of you won't want to come and speak with me. Because I can see into your souls, if you have them. And if you don't have them, I'll see into your psyches. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is terrifying for the best of us. So, yeah. Anyway, just what I was going to say, wasn't I? Could it be the psilocybin? I'm going to keep on the half gram a day and see what happens. And if I fluctuate, whereby some days I don't make videos at all and I'm on the same amount, then can't really attribute it to the psilocybin. But what I will say, what many people say, they say microdosing, psilocybin or LSD is very, very powerful for our psyche, and it'll open up our psyche in a myriad ways. And this is why it is said that the vast majority of Silicon Valley are microdosing acid. And so there are supposed to be vast amounts of health benefits and mental benefits from taking psilocybin in any varying amount. And I know from all the times I've taken it, my consciousness is expanding exponentially. I've had the greatest of insight, and I suppose if you're on it every single day in a smaller amount, then it's going to be increasing your cognitive ability and expanding your consciousness. And so that's probably why I am like I am. I make the observations I make, I say the things I say, and all that sort of stuff. Because to be quite frank, people, there's not too many people around which speak at the level I speak. Is there? I was watching some guy the other day, and he's speaking about metaphysical stuff, and he's actually walking around in the woods, and so, there's one. But relatively speaking, what are they? 1 in a million? I don't know, 1 in 100,000. But then you've got people like Michael Tessarian and Mark Passio and what's that guy? Marbury, Marbury something. Anyway, yeah, that dude, he has interesting people on. I was listening to a podcast with him, and Nassim Haramein. There's a bright cookie. There is one bright motherfucker. Genius. And so listen to people like that. But, you know, they're on these massive podcasts. You don't see them fucking with a fucking camera walking down the street. You know, they're too busy, you know, getting invited to all these fucking wonderful podcasts all over the world and earning millions from selling tickets for a fucking, you know, $500 a time to their venues, all that different sort of stuff. But it's about continuity, isn't it? Because these people have been doing it all their lives, and that's what you find about people. They've travelled a path, and when you look at people like Nasty and Harriman, who's probably, you know, approaching fucking 65 or something like that, and he's been through the universities and all these institutions, and you know, he's been mixing with all these academics and exchanging papers and everything, been in it for fucking ever, and so eventually it pays off. You know, unless you get some sort of meteoric rise to fame, like Jordan Peterson, who just came along at the right time, you know. We'll notice that in history. People just come along at the right time. Whereas people like Friedrich Nietzsche and, you know, lots of other people like that barely sold a book in their time. But now it's big news. And so, who knows? You know, who knows what happens? And so it is what it is, isn't it? But anyway, I just recite to you my observations, people. And, you know, if you find them useful, you find them useful. If you don't, then you don't, yeah.